Crash car. Crash car. Another crash car. Cop car. Not a crash car. Out of New Hampshire. Out of the cold. I am back in Orlando at the Copart auction because there's a little bit of everything. Thousands of cars here, would you say?
There's gotta be thousands.
Thousands. There's a little bit of everything. Drivable cars. You can buy a car here and drive it out of the lot and potentially sell it for a profit. Before I dive into it, you may know this guy from other videos, and also he does a lot of behind the scenes work for me. You want to introduce yourself real quick?
Ladies and gentlemen, you may have seen me in some of the Facebook groups. My name is Lucas. I help behind the scenes, helping Craig organize all of the stuff with Start Your Dealership, Car Flipping 101, and the free Facebook community. So I'm happy for you guys to join us here. It's a first for me. Obviously, Craig has been around the block a few times, knows this world, but I'm gonna take you guys on the adventure with us and we'll see what we can do.
So today's video, we are at a Copart auction, one of our first ever Copart auctions. I'm a dealer. Lucas is a customer, right?
Car
Retail
enthusiast.
purchaser, car enthusiast. We're gonna do an entire walk around, auction walk around at the Copart auction, see what's here, see what's drivable. We're gonna look at cars that you can buy right on the spot, take, sell for profit or keep for yourself. How do dealers buy? How do non-dealers buy at Copart? Because it's access to everybody. Today's video, a little different than how we normally shoot. We're gonna put a ton of content out there. It's gonna be interesting. We're shooting it a different way too. We have mics, we have cameras. This is gonna be a fun day. Let's get going.
Let's see what we can find.
I want to do an honorable mention, but this is more than an honorable mention. This is what I was hoping to find while we were at this auction. I want to find green light cars, but this is probably the thumbnail of the video. This is a 2020 Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. So all I do, which is really cool, there's a number right here. So if I go to my Copart app, I type in that number, it comes up 2020 Lamborghini Aventador SVJ. Estimated retail value is $1.1 million. Does that sound right? That's what these are worth?
Your guess is better than mine, Craig.
Wow. Odometer's 4,500 miles, primary damage, front end. So, what is their engine start program? At the time of the vehicle arrived, the Copart's facility verified that the vehicle started and at idle. No guarantee, representation, or warranty that the vehicle will start, run, or at idle after. So, it did run when the car showed up. It looks like the only damage is right here. If you zoom in on this though, evidence for the Miami-Dade Police Department. So the story, this car has a story. Since you're here and I'm introducing you, I might as well introduce your truck and explain maybe a little bit why you're here.
That's it.
Right? So this truck is a Raptor.
Yes,
has the right engine in it, but there's something hidden. And there's a little bit of a backstory too. So let's just go through this truck real quick.
Let's walk through it.
So fun to see this in a crew cab. So cool to see it with the 6.2. Also to have no rust on it, because where I'm from, these trucks actually don't even exist anymore. This truck actually had a little bit of a history, right?
It did not start life perfect. It was in a small fender bender that I repaired. I got lucky. It was a supercharger under the hood.
You bought it with the supercharger?
Yep.
That is a Roush supercharger on a 6.2 liter Ford V8. That is like a pretty durable engine with a great supercharger package on it. Any idea what this puts out for power now?
590.
590 in a truck.
590 torque.
It tows well.
Tows super well. It's a great platform.
So this truck actually came with a Roush package option, which a lot of people didn't know. Like, I'll see them at auctions and I always check. It'll say Roush on the headrest and that's about it. And then it comes with this supercharger, which is a huge upgrade for performance and just in price. Now this truck has a little bit of a history. Go through it real quick.
Like I said, the truck has seen better days. It is restored now, but at one point in time, it had been sideswiped on the passenger side, professionally repaired to the point where I didn't even notice.
And same thing here. So the reason I mentioned this truck is because you're not afraid to buy something with maybe a little bit of accident damage. It was repaired, you've put plenty of miles on it, you've had it for plenty of time and still loving it. So you probably saved a decent amount of money because it had a little bit of history, but you haven't had any issues.
Not at all.
So that's kind of why we're here today. Like, you had good luck with this one, let's repeat the process.
Or at least try to. Let's see what we can do.
So let's go into Copart and see what we can find for you again.
Let's go dig it up.
I just saw this, so I figured I should mention it. I follow Copart on Instagram.
I do too.
That's how I actually see some of their inventory that I'm interested in. So Copart on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
It is LinkedIn.
All right, LinkedIn. Fine. I don't know, what do I know? On YouTube and on TikTok. Copart, here we come. Let's just start with what I think is already the most interesting car. It caught my eye right off the bat. This is a 1973 Jeep Commando, which is something I did not expect to find at a Copart auction. I think it's really interesting. I have a friend that sells straws, and she's looking for like a convertible type car to
There we go.
sling all their straws out of. Perfect. Let's check this out. So 73 Jeep Commando. I don't know much about these. I don't know what they have for an engine. I think it's worth us looking at. Now, what's cool about this and Copart, I have the Copart app on my phone, so I didn't really know even what this was. I went on the Copart app and I typed in that number at the top. The Jeep came up. That's how I knew it was a 73 Jeep Commando. Tons of photos, probably honestly more than I would notice, like even being in person. So it's kind of neat that I get to see it online and then see it in person. It tells me a lot about the car. So this has a Florida Certificate of Salvage rebuildable title.
Now, what does that mean, Craig? I don't have a ton of experience at the auctions. It looks clean to me. It's in beautiful matte satin red. Might even be vinyl wrapped. I noticed there's maybe some bubbles we'll cover in a second.
You know what? I didn't even notice that it was vinyl wrapped. You pointed it out, and the wrap is kind of hardened. If you look up here.
You know what it probably is, Craig? I know our viewers are coming in from all over the United States, but at least here in Florida, when you get sun cooking on the vinyl, it really dries it out. So there is some conditioner you can apply to vinyl, especially in Florida. It just gets beat on by the sun. These wraps do not last a long time.
I don't want to break it, but that's brittle. Like I just
It's very dry, very brittle.
Just broke it off. And there's a lot of bubbles in it too. I didn't even pick up that it was a wrap. You did.
I only said that because it was satin. I can't imagine they came out with satin originally, so that was the first red flag to me. Ironic this whole thing is all red, but it looks good for the most part. I mean, body panels look pretty clean, but the closer you get on some stuff, I'm starting to notice a few things.
The wrap cracked here. It bubbled here, which you pointed out to me, so it doesn't even stick anymore here as well. But it's still a pretty good looking Jeep.
Looks good to me. I would drive it.
I don't mind that it's salvage as long as it's drivable. Take the top off, enjoy the summer weather.
It's a Florida Jeep, I'd imagine minimal rust. I mean, you live in New Hampshire, Craig, I live in Florida. I see clean frames all the time. You know the rust world all too well.
It blows my mind to see things without rust. So this top is removable. And at this age, like if you go in the inside, it's actually the entire interior is truck bed coated as well. So it's almost okay to leave it in the elements without the top on.
Is that like a bed liner? A rhino liner?
Yeah, it's like a spray-in rhino liner or something. I like the way they did that. Manual transmission, four-wheel drive, probably not that much fun to actually be driving.
You do a bed liner? Does that be something you could consider?
I think that's a great idea. You're onto something here.
I think
we should look into it.
Craig, I don't know Jeeps all too well, to be honest with you. I know Wranglers typically will see an inline 6. This is an older one, might be an inline 4. I think we'll have to pop the hood and find out.
Something strange too. Walk on that other side, check the floor out. There's something over there. That would be a strange place to have that fluid.
Craig, that looks like Mountain Dew, but you can tell me what that is best.
Why don't you try it out? Take a sip of it and tell me if it's Mountain Dew.
I think you go first.
The antifreeze on the floor is a little strange. I guess you guys don't have antifreeze in Florida, so it's probably more coolant leaking out of the heater core, maybe? Why is this thing reconstructed title or have a salvage title? I don't know. Let's see if the battery's dead in it. The battery is completely dead. It's like a Chevy 350.
That is aftermarket radiator, carburetor.
So this is something that we can put on our radar for tomorrow. Today's the pre-sale, we get to inspect things. Tomorrow everything runs online. So I can bid on it through the Copart app. So today we get to see, touch, feel, smell cars. And then I can go online knowing what I want to bid on and how much I want to spend. A Chevy 350 under the hood really makes this pretty valuable. I don't care that the wrap is brittle, and I don't care that it has a salvage title. If it runs, if the frame's clean, everything's pretty straight. It should be a short money toy, which is huge right now. Nobody really wants to spend a lot of money, so short money toys are really doing really well.
And I'll say this too, you would not have known it has a 350. If you thought this thing had an original motor, had you not been to the inspection, checked it out for yourself, you would not know there's a...
It actually didn't say it in the ad.
It didn't, so it's something flying under the radar that you might be able to, overpay a little bit, knowing very well it's got a brand new motor swapped under the hood, and that's something, the other folks at home might not be able to see. So always look.
This is a ride and drive vehicle, so on Copart the highlights ride and drive means literally that, it rides and drives. So they put an exclamation mark next to it. Run and drive. According to the auction at inventory, the vehicle was run and drive, meaning the vehicle started under its own power or with the use of an external jump, was put into gear and moved forward. The designation is no guarantee, representation, or warranty that the vehicle is roadworthy or will be able to start or put in gear capable of moving forward at this time. So when it got here, they were able to drive it. I signed up for Copart years and years ago. I bought a Trans Am with an LS1 V8 manual transmission, swapped it into my 240. So that's how I signed up for Copart years ago. I actually forgot that I was even still a member. You can sign up on the Copart mobile app. So download the app, sign up. I uploaded my dealer's license. It was super simple. I got the basic membership, so it's $99. It allows me to come in, buy cars, bid on cars, go through the auction, look around. They also have a premier membership, right?
For $249.
$249, so it allows you more buying power, I think lower fees.
Better for more volume.
More volume buyers would want the premier membership. So really, really simple. Now that That's how I do it because I'm a dealer. You are not a dealer. You don't have your dealer's license, so you actually don't have access to buy the cars at Copart by yourself.
In the traditional way.
The traditional way. So how does it work for you? Because you actually knew how to buy cars yourself. I did not, without a license.
So online, I can go through one of the registered dealers to be the middleman, basically, and have them be the one who facilitates the deal. And I just have to pay the fee to have them be the licensed dealer. So I could go through someone like you to help me buy that vehicle.
Right. So people will reach out to me and say, hey, Craig, I found this car on Copart. Would you buy it for me? I could. I don't, but I could. I could also be a broker on Copart. So I pay the membership fee, I join, and then I can buy cars on behalf of people. So
that
when
would be something I could.
Yeah, so when you went online and said buy through, you would buy through me who's registered, and then I collect a fee to purchase on your behalf, which is just kind of like another way for me to cover my expenses.
Residual income.
Make a little bit of money doing something that I don't have a lot of liability on, which is great for me. Good for you. You don't have to have a dealer's license. You can buy a car. I assign it over to you, and then it's yours. Yeah, so it's cool for all buyers.
And it's all done online too, so I can sit in my pajamas and make the bidding happen.
Yeah, in your AC because
in
it is flipping hot out there.
It is. And you've got the auction obviously, and then there is buy it now available on some of the auctions as well. So there's buy it now prices where we don't even have to wait for the live auction. I can buy it now and I own that car. No auction, I just pay full price for it obviously, but that's something I could do as well.
There is a completely different type of vehicle over here I want to show you, and I'm really curious because it's like, where's our future heading?
All right,
Can you guess what it is?
I think it's going to be another EV.
It is an EV.
If I know you, it's going to be an EV, Craig.
I haven't yet owned a Tesla. Okay. I have an order on a Cybertruck that's going to be coming in soon. A Model 3. I just don't know, like, these cars get salvaged so easily because they're so expensive. There was a time where you couldn't even get windshields for these. 2020, during COVID, you could not get parts. So you'll have a car that literally couldn't pass inspection in my state and you can't get the parts for it. So they have brand new cars with a cracked windshield that can't be driven. The airbag was deployed on both doors. Coming to the front.
Craig, speaking on the airbag topic, have you replaced an airbag? Have you bought a vehicle and replaced an airbag? Because a lot of stuff I'm seeing today, a lot of front end collisions, a lot of airbags deployed. I don't know what goes into replacing an airbag or repackaging it. So
it's not stuff I even want to get into.
No.
I know you're gonna have to reset monitors. There's sensors everywhere that you're gonna have to reset. So even though you can replace the airbag on the side curtain, there's still a sensor in here that triggered the airbag. So you have to replace the sensor, you have to replace the bumper cover, the headlight, make sure everything's straight, and then it's calibrated correctly so the airbag doesn't deploy again. Steering wheel airbags, simple. It's clock spring, everything comes off, everything goes back together. I don't know how side curtain airbags work, anything like that. I just stay away from them. And a car like this, it's not as simple as any of these internal combustion engines. They're really hard to get parts for and they're expensive to repair. That's why something with like this light of a impact
gets
is
totaled.
At a salvage auction totaled. So I'm not even interested in it. It's just interesting. Like even look at the tow hooks this is how you jump your car. So down here, when the battery's dead in your car and you can't get in to unlock your car because the battery's dead, you'll find your power here. You connect to power and then you have like portable power to unlock, lock, and get the hoods open. Everything's electric. Like even how the hood's open, it's all on push button. So if your battery dies, you're really out of luck in a lot of situations.
A few minutes later.
I'm fascinated with unaffordable cars, like not this one right here. When cars are sometimes too expensive to afford, the alternative is to get one with a reconstructed title. So it may have been in a previous collision, may have been in a flood, may have been a recovered theft. You still have the opportunity to get what was probably a $125,000 car for a fraction of the price. So this Mercedes, I can look it up on the app, I can find out all about it. It might be run and drive, and you're getting something like as of now, it looks like the suspension's low and somebody cracked the windshield almost to like, there's no VIN tag, I don't think.
Now, Craig, there's a lot of different reasons some of these cars are here. Obviously, some of them are damaged, but what are some of the other reasons a car might land itself in a Copart lot? You know, I'm looking online, there's a ton of different reasons. What am I looking at? What should I be expecting?
This car's fascinating to me because it's not significantly damaged. We have a crack in the windshield, the suspension's low, but that could just be a dead battery and the shocks, like the air and shocks wore out. You can find out on the app, on their website, what actually went wrong with this car. You can also find a history report and figure out what happened and the reason it's here. Highly suggest if you're buying anything to get a history report on it. It doesn't have to be Carfax, they're kind of expensive. You can go to AutoCheck, they have other brands that you can pull a history report on as well. There are reconstructed cars from crashes. You're from Florida, so when like Fort Myers had the hurricanes and there were significant floods.
The floods.
Florida got, like these auctions went wild with supercar, high-end cars, Rolls Royces, you might know Tavares's McLaren P1. Yep. All of those cars went to auctions like this, so there was like this literal flood of supercars that came to all the insurance auctions and people flooded to the auction to go pick them up like on a half price basis. Floods, recovered theft, lemon titles, so if there's like too many issues with the car from the manufacturer, they'll buy it back, and then it marks the title for the rest of the vehicle's history. So there's a lot of reasons, a lot of factors. Anything could go wrong. Even electrical. If there's something that's electrical that's like unrepairable or costs more than like a third of the price of the car, a lot of times like forget it, send it off to insurance and claim it. So interesting, not something I really want, but I think it's kind of cool that you can get stuff like this here.
Looks great. Let's do it.
Let's look for you now. Fire car, crash car, like these came supercharged. The supercharger on these are like $2,000 on eBay. I have like not such a nice Range Rover. The video probably already came out. I paid $2,000 for the entire car. The supercharger alone's worth $2,000. Then it has like leather interior and navigations and DVDs. If someone was to part cars out, there's so much value in even a car that has damage like this, because the wheels are worth $2,000. Again,
the interior,
everything can be parted out if you wanted a whole job. Like honestly, you don't even need a dealer's license to do those things. So like if I'm buying things to sell, I oftentimes need a dealer's license. But if I was to buy a car like this, get it back to my garage and just start tearing things apart, what's a headlight on a Range Rover worth? What's a set of rims with good tires worth? Every part under that hood. Oh, there's a Corvette going through. We're gonna check out that C8 Corvette in a minute. All right, I got distracted.
We had a Corvette come in, I'd be distracted too.
Forgot what I was saying. We can part all of these cars out. So like, I don't really have the time, and I have my dealer's license, so it's easy for me to buy things that run and drive, and I can just turn it. Like turn metal is what I call, it's all done in volume. But if like, there's a potentially 5.7 liter Hemi in this car. If you buy the car right, part the wheels out, part every other part of this car can be sold, and then you have a Hemi in your possession as well with an automatic or manual transmission.
The crazy part to that is there's no title exchange. So I buy this, I don't have to go to the DMV and sell the title and exchange it to somebody else. I could sell the parts, ultimately have unlimited inventory if I want to keep selling the parts.
Yeah.
And you know, at some point accelerate into being licensed. But for somebody who doesn't have a license, selling the parts individually is a pretty good entryway for me to dive into it.
Junk the car when you're done. In some states, you're only allowed to buy and sell a certain amount of vehicles. So if you're buying these cars for yourself, tearing them down, parting everything out, there is so much more money and value in this car than just fixing it and selling it, putting a ton of work into this car to fix it and then sell a reconstructed car. You can part the whole thing out, junk what's left, and then you didn't take away from how many cars you've bought and sold in a year.
And the cool part too is, you know, the storage of the vehicles themselves. You scrap it down, you could store every part in a few bins. You don't need a lot to hold 10, 20 different cars.
Yeah.
You could have a storage unit that basically has a full lot worth of vehicles in a bunch of storage bins.
You might be onto something here. Let's go check out that Corvette. It's dying. I gotta get over there. This might be the one.
Craig, you've seen a few of these in your day, and this one looks a little different than the ones I've seen on your channel.
Why is it lopsided though? All right, bring the camera right over here, and just like, why is it so high here? Is it missing a wheel? Go that way, I'll go this way. The wheel is, oh God, that's why. Okay.
It looks pretty good on my side.
There is a wheel in here, and there is no wheel right here. So this looks like somebody didn't get T-boned, somebody lost control. So fiberglass damage here, door fiberglass damage, quarter panel damage, missing a wheel, missing the entire spindle right here. Somebody swiped out on this side and they hit something good.
And to top it off, you're missing a taillight. So add that to your list, and among the other things.
You know what I bet happened? That looks like a curb. I bet somebody tried to spin around and hit a curb right there, because a majority of the damage is the wheel. So somebody hit a curb, took the wheel, the entire spindle, broke it off, and I bet when the wheel came off, that's what caused this fiberglass damage. And then all that right there, it's low enough that it would have been a curb or something low. Opinions? Agree? Disagree?
It's not a Mustang, so I don't know. Might not be drifting out of events. We'll have to see.
Taking shots at Mustang owners. It's a 495 horsepower car though.
It looks great. I love the color. Brand new. This thing's got to be 1 or 2 years old.
Yeah.
It's a shame that it had a short life, but
too bad. It's not a terrible repair though. One corner. You want a toy? Right?
I do.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. You tell me if it's something you're interested in. I already see it from this side, but go 2 more cars back. From afar, I thought this was a Mustang GT, and I saw it on that side. So it looked decent on that side. It has the torque thrust wheels. I was assuming you're getting a V8 convertible Mustang. Could be a fun toy. This right here tells me it's a 6-cylinder. The 6-cylinder has like fog light bezels in the grille. So, and this rocker stripe as well right here going down the side of the Mustang. This is a 6-cylinder trim package on a Mustang. I mean, it's a fun Florida car, but it's not really a fun toy.
Not what I'm looking for.
We did a segment on our future, right? Electric vehicles. So we're gonna talk about electric vehicles again, and then like what happens when they're crashed. because it's kind of a big deal. Things people
Craig?
really didn't think about what's going to happen when they're in an accident. Let's go to the back side of this Tesla, show the damage, and then I want you to tell everybody what you told me previously.
As you guys can tell at home, this thing has seen better days, and unfortunately it's been in a huge wreck. And the fun fact that I learned back in the day, I was a volunteer firefighter, and something I learned, which I didn't even consider previously, was when you do get in an accident with an EV, there's really high current lines and wires that are running along the door panels, in the A-pillars, etc. And if you have to use the jaws of life to rip the door off of the vehicle, inside the fire truck, there's actually a book with a lot of EVs, Priuses, etc., where you see the wiring diagram so that it's safe for the firefighter to remove the door, make sure that they don't kill themselves trying to save your life. So something to consider with EVs. I've never seen it mentioned online. It's something that seriously is under the rug, but a lot
Never
of folks,
thought of that, and
you
that
never would have
is,
thought about
like,
it.
that's what we have in our future.
That's what we're looking at. So
great, awesome. Let's find some, like, we found a lot of crash cars already. There's an S3, I love that. I love and hate S3s. But let's find some cars that are like green light, buy and drive, or ride and drive, like run and drive stuff. So let's go the other side of the auction and find some like clean cars now.
A few minutes later.
All the value in this car is right there. 6.2 liter V8, all aluminum block. Thing is a monster of an engine. Small, fits in tight places. That is like an insane engine swap. So Copart has obviously the crash cars, they have the clean cars, clean title, they do boats and jet skis and four-wheelers. They do a little bit of everything, including like even these mini bikes. Grom, what are these called?
This is a Kawasaki 125. I used to have one. It's a wheelie machine and it's fun.
Absolute blast, right?
It is a blast.
I want one so bad. All right, let's go check out some clean cars.
Let's do it.
So fun fact, while we were chatting with the lot attendant guy, who was filled with information, he told us that they were actually getting all of their 6th car rental replacements, so like all their aged units, which have clean titles, still fairly low mileage, they're all coming here. So you can, like, I honestly rent, this isn't a plug for Six, but I rent a lot of my cars when I'm here because they have like higher end cars. BMW, it's almost always a BMW, which is what I'm renting right now. So they'll have all their cars here. State Farm is over there, so all of State Farm's cars go over there. And what the lot attendant said was, or the driver, what he said was like, how are you doing walking backwards, by the way?
Good.
Tampa's one of their larger Copart auctions, and if they get too filled or if they have units that have been there too long, he'll go pick them up from there and bring them here. So there's inventory that's kind of moving
around
all over.
Keep stuff filled up.
Got a ton of information from that guy.
They got a ton of cars.
Yeah, kind of like dancing right now.
That's it.
All right, let's check out some clean cars. Odd segue to what we were just talking about. So 6 car rentals, they're getting like all of their aged units. I didn't even realize it because I came over to look at this one because I'm just interested in this. This is something that I would buy and drive myself. Clean title car, 37,000 miles. I went on my Copart app. They gave me an estimated retail value of around $29,000.
29,000 you said?
Yeah, clean title, Florida title, run and drive. So this car, you can buy it and drive it home, keep it for yourself, register it, or buy it and flip it for profit because essentially you're buying it wholesale. So clean title car, completely fine. Maybe some rental damage, but there's no real issues with it. It started right up, it's already running. 29,000 miles, started right up. Like, this is something I would buy for myself and drive. So there's a little bit of everything. A nice clean BMW X3, like luxurious and decently priced with no issues. So I lost Lucas. I already know where I'm gonna find him. He's looking for a truck for himself. I guarantee you, he's in this fully tinted Silverado. Good?
This thing's a beast.
I knew I'd find you in here.
This thing is a beast. This is exactly what I personally would look for. This is something I could sell very quick where I live here in Florida. These trucks move so fast, and I also looked underneath. There's no rust under this car. It's a Florida car.
Something I'm not used to. So this, again, I looked up the lot number on the windshield on the mobile app. This is a 2020 Chevy Silverado RST, 79,000 miles, rental car, which is crazy. That's a ton of miles for a rental car. Clean Florida title. But if you think about a 2020 Silverado, 80,000 miles, that's like right in my wheelhouse, no rust. Perfect car for me to buy and then resell with a clean title. And to be honest with you, it's probably less expensive here than I would find at like a dealer auction. So another idea is I could buy this here, clean title, run it through a dealer auction. There's a lot of potential in buying clean title vehicles from Copart, running them through wholesale auctions and then making a profit on them with like really not a lot of effort.
Little elbow grease, detail them up. This thing could be flipped really fast.
Yep.
This is a really clean example of a Chevy Silverado. Looks great. So
more fix and flip cars. This is a 2020 2022. By the way, like the app is super easy to use. You can type in like year, make, model that you're looking for, but that run number on the windshield, I just type in the run number and it comes right up with the car and all the information. So I'm gonna look at the car, but it tells me things that I might not have seen anyway. 2022 Subaru Impreza, 71,000 miles, minor dents and scratches, run and drive, motor lease corp. So again, something that I would be interested in buying, cleaning, and fixing the scratches, and then I could run it right through a wholesale auction and potentially make a profit on it. This is Copart Select. What's Copart Select though?
So the car behind us is a Copart Select example. What that means from us at home, maybe bidding on the car, clean title, low mileage, very minimal damage. So that's what kind of the criteria under that umbrella. And then what also goes into Copart Select is a background vehicle inspection check. So you get to know essentially what's wrong with it. On top of that, those auctions are at Thursdays, 11 a.m. CST. So weekly, we could bid on this car live, and we know that it's got that assurance because it's been inspected by all the folks here at Copart. So we know we could jump into this, clean it up, immediately roll it right out to a wholesale auction.
Most of these things, like I just assumed, even their green light is like one wheel rotation. It came in running, it made one wheel rotation, so they guarantee that, and then that's it. But they also have on Copart Select, they're clean title cars, and they have an arbitration policy. So they have like a checklist that they go through the vehicle for you and tell you what they found on it, and they have an arbitration policy. So if it's not what they said it is, you can actually arbitrate it, which is not something that people even realize is available with Copart auctions.
And for the viewer at home, what is arbitration?
If I go to the auction and I buy something that the auction says it is what it is, and it's not what they say, I find something that was hidden, something that wasn't announced, I can arbitrate it. Meaning I basically just like argue back about it. Not argue, don't use that term. Let's not say argue, but you can basically go and you can appeal it. And then from there, they'll look at it, they'll review it, and then maybe buy the car back. Maybe they'll give you a little bit extra upfront of cash and kind of reimburse you, or they'll take care of the problems for you. So there's a lot of incentives to buy things that have an arbitration policy.
So essentially, if it's not what you thought it was, you can take it up with Copart and they give you that as
I would not use the word warranty. That's not what it is. But it's like a loose version of a warranty on a car. They tell you what it is, and you go buy based off of what they say the car is.
Got it.
So real quick, just to look at the Subaru. Again, something I could buy. They listed it scratches and dents. I don't really see too much damage. There are some like normal wear and tear on the car just from daily use. And then like bug damage on the hood. So buy it, clean it, polish it. I have products that fix chips. I have products that fix scratches. And then you just do a good detail. Even the inside is in pretty great shape. Sell it retail on your lot. Keep it for yourself. Flip it if you're a consumer, like a side flipper, or you just wholesale it right to another auction and make some money on it. Let's maybe look, like I think I saw a toy over there, and then just let's call it from there. Is that cool?
Do it.
There's so many cars here. We did this whole thing on like Teslas, crash Teslas, salvage title Teslas, clean title Model S. So I looked it up, 116,000 miles, clean title, ride and drive, highlights enhanced vehicles. So enhanced vehicle means, enhanced vehicles are those vehicles where the seller has authorized Copart to perform an enhanced service to the vehicle, such as a wash, vacuum, protective covering. The vehicle is under a program that gives Copart discretion to utilize enhancement services to maximize the value of the vehicle. So it's like a recon process too.
They detailed it.
So they detailed it prior to it even going up for sale. So it's pretty convenient. You're getting a clean title EV Tesla opposed to like those ones that we just trash talked earlier. So you can get exactly the opposite still at the same exact auction. One more fun car that I think I just want like for myself is this. I think it's a QX60. What are these called?
I'm not super familiar, but I know it's an Infinity Coupe and it looks really
Q60,
good.
yeah. So this is like the 370Z, but the luxury model. Really, really fun. Whoa, look at that interior. So such a nice classy car, but it's also sporty and an absolute blast to drive. I think these are 3.7 liters, or they might be turbos. I don't know. I don't. There's too many cars to know everything about everything, and I'm sure the viewers will tell me that I'm wrong. But this car is an absolute blast. Also clean title. This is something that I'd buy and like drive it until somebody else buys it from me.
And the interior is amazing, so you can enjoy it while you're driving it.
Yeah. All right. Today was fun. I'm exhausted. The auction is Thursday, so it's every Thursday, right? Like nationwide, all the auctions are Thursday. So I hearted everything on my app, so everything that we like. I can go back, check my app, see what I left a heart in my app on, and then bid on them. I actually get notifications too. I was getting notifications for this auction last week. As the auction is coming up, it will give me the notification. I can go on so I don't like forget to go on, and then I can bid right from my phone, have a transporter pick it up, ship it right to me, or I can go, they'll pull it out with their tractors that you've already seen, and then you can drive it home, put it in your trailer, whatever. So the auction's over for today. Like our viewing is done. Now we just wait for the auction and we can go buy stuff. So that's the second part and the actual fun part.
A few inches later.
Craig, thank you so much for having me join you today. I've never been to a Copart lot. This was awesome.
It's kind of a neat to like do something different every once in a while. I'm always making the same videos at the same auctions, buying the same cars, so it's cool to see that there's an alternative. I sometimes scour Copart. I know a lot of you guys have said to me, Craig, why don't you buy Copart cars? Like, this is a perfect introduction on how to do Copart auctions, how they work, what you can buy, what you should expect. I'm glad we did this. I hope we found something that you want. I hope I found something that I want. In the next video, I'll go online and see what we end up with. So for now, thanks for watching. If you enjoy this stuff, I read the comments. Be gentle to us. Tell us what you liked, what you didn't like, so we know what to change, what to add in our next videos. Like, subscribe, share, and then the bell down below gives you notifications every time we make a new video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of this.
Thank you.
See you all later.
Peace out.
Adios. There we go.